So today we're here to roll out our public safety folks, as I call them. We have the Attorney General's Office, we have the Department of Public Safety and Corrections. And today we're going to be naming Commissioner of DPS Amanda Price, Attorney General Kevin Clarkson, and Corrections Commissioner Nancy Dahlstrom. They have support staff with them. But I just want to say a few words before we take questions. Public safety was the #1 issue for this campaign. And I believe it's the #1 issue for Alaskans. We have some of the worst statistics in the country. There's no denying that. Our sexual assault rates are through the roof. Our property crime is through the roof. We have a murder rate in Anchorage that's twice that of New York City, for example. Sexual assault rates in Anchorage are about 171 per 100,000 people. You compare that with New York City of about 14 per 100,000 people. You can see that we have a lot of work ahead of us. Primary function of any governor and any state government, to be frank, is to keep people safe. And that's why we've taken time to really look at folks that we believe are going to get us there. And we're not rolling out people individually one at a time. We're coming out as a package, as a group, because we have to start working out of our silos. We have to start working as a team. You have DPS, you have troopers, you have local law enforcement, you have law, Department of Law, corrections. We'll be having conversations with the other branch of government, the courts as well. And we're going to be having deep conversations with the legislature throughout this session and how we can make Alaska safer. One of the questions that people will ask, obviously, is how do we pay for this? Well, we're going to reprioritize our budgets. In other words, instead of everything being of equal value, public safety has got to be job #1. So that'll be the first thing that we budget, and we're working through that budget process now. We're going to be looking at bills, for example. The question is, were we going to repeal SB 91? I've been adamant in my campaign that we will repeal SB 91. And yes, many of the changes that have already taken place have been in 54 and other bills, but we're going to have these folks behind us working together, again, with the different departments, with local municipalities and law enforcement, with the courts, and having conversations and looking at some national law enforcement issues that impact Alaska, to come up with a comprehensive approach. Do we have all the details of that comprehensive approach done today? No, because we still have to have those conversations. But this is the beginning of that process, these folks behind me. And so I'm honored that they've accepted these positions. I'm going to let them come forward to speak to you and answer a couple questions. I would ask that we stay on topic on the idea of public safety. And as we go through this process, we'll continue to have more press conferences, press releases, and you'll be able to have interviews with these individuals behind me. So with that, I'd first ask Nancy Dahlstrom to come forward, talk about her background, her team, and then she could take a few questions.
Thank you, Governor Dunleavy, and I like the height of the microphone also. I would like to introduce my deputy commissioners to you today. Right here I have Leigh Tupou, who is a seasoned correction officer, and Dan Carruthers, and I am thrilled that they have accepted the challenge to come on and help me work with the challenges and the opportunities that we have in the Department of Corrections. It is apparent that we need to make some significant changes. I am thrilled that the governor has said public safety is #1. I'm very pleased that he wants us all to work as a team and not individual departments working towards individual goals. I know that we have a lot of work to do. It's day 1 on the job. It's going to be a lot of long hours and late nights, but we're here to work for forwarding and promoting the governor's agenda of public safety, and we will accomplish that goal.
So next, I'd ask our AG to come up, Kevin Clarkson, with his assistant deputy.
Thank you very much, Governor Dunleavy, and I thank you for the trust you've shown in me and for this appointment. And I plan to work every day to try to earn that trust, and not just the trust of the governor, but of the Alaskans, the citizens of Alaska as a whole. I want to introduce Treg Taylor to you, who will be taking the position of Deputy Attorney General, Civil Division. He has 14 years of experience practicing law in Alaska in a variety of areas, and most recently as Senior Corporate Counsel for ASRC Energy Services. You know, we have a talented team of lawyers working in the Department of Law, and they deserve our support and our respect, principally in our prosecutors who work in the district attorney's offices and the Office of Special Prosecution and Appeals. Those folks work tirelessly behind the scenes, often out of public view and out of public recognition, and they deserve our support and our respect and our thanks for the hard work that they do. I plan to try as best I can, as quick as I can, to step alongside them to see how I can best help make sure they have the tools and the support they need to protect public safety for Alaskans. So thank you very much, and thank you, Governor Dunleavy.
And then our DPS nominee is Amanda Price for Commissioner. Amanda?
Thank you, Governor Dunleavy. It is really an honor to be named the Commissioner for the Department of Public Safety under Governor Dunleavy. I have been a victim advocate in the state of Alaska for many years and have almost 2 decades experience in organization, operation, and fiscal planning. I have next to me Deputy Commissioner Michael Duxbury. I have Major Andrew Greenstreet, who is the acting director for the Alaska State Troopers Division. I've got Colonel Doug Massey, who can't be with us today. He was on a trip that could not be rescheduled, though he is very eager to step into his role. Major Chastain, and collectively between this command staff, we've got almost 100 years law enforcement experience. So coupling with that law enforcement experience and alongside the other team members that Governor Dunleavy has identified, I am eager to get to work so that the governor's promise to Alaskans that we will see a safer Alaska is identified quickly. One of the primary responsibilities of the Commissioner's Office within DPS is to ensure adequate resources are available for the department to fulfill its mission. That has been a challenge within the Department of Public Safety. I know that in partnership with the commanders that I identified, every command staff that exists within DPS and every personnel that is employed by DPS, both in uniform and out of uniform, we are going to begin to see a correction to some of those challenges. And I am eager and pleased and so privileged to continue serving the state, to serve under Governor Dunleavy, and to improve public safety for all Alaskans. Thank you.
So at this point, I'd ask the nominees to kind of gather around the microphone. We'll take a couple questions for each of us. And again, this is just the beginning. We have a lot of work to do. We didn't get in this position, Alaska did not get in this position overnight. We're dealing with a couple issues, including earthquake recovery. But we're pretty much got most of our cabinet put together within the time frame of transition. And again, we'd be more than happy to answer any questions. And